Hello again. Now, continuing on our rig introduction, I thought I'd go ahead and show you what I've done with the face rig. Now, it's arranged a little bit differently than the body rig as far as its functionality goes. Let me go ahead and turn that layer on. There we go. Now, at first glance, you might think that, hey, it looks like it's just part of the normal rig. You know, each bone controls part of the mesh. Well, that's not the case. That's the case with the body rig. Go ahead and turn that layer on and turn the body rig on. You know, the bones deform whichever part of the mesh that they're nearby. Now, the facial rig is a little bit different. And the way it's different is it doesn't deform the mesh at all. What it does is it controls these facial shapes, these shape keys that we've got set up here. For example, let's look at smile.l. It's right there, and it's going to be this guy. So, okay, let's look at it. Oops, grabbed it on accident. Right now it's at 0.126. Let me move this down a little bit, or maybe up all the way, and let's go to now. Now it's at 1.0. So these shapes, these bones, drive the shapes. They're shape key drivers. So let me show you how that's set up. Let's go ahead and just create a new. Let's clear out all of our bone shapes, our bone positions here, and let's go ahead and create a new shape key. Let's just come down here and we'll just hit the little plus sign. It's going to create a new key. It's going to be the 26th key, shape key on this model, which obviously means that there was 25 beforehand. But let's just go ahead and call this I don't know. How about pointy chin? Okay, and now we'll go in here and tab into edit mode, and let's go into side view, and let's grab the vertices that make up the chin and just drag it. Actually, one thing that we're going to need to do is right here where it says apply shape keys in edit mode, just go ahead and uncheck that, and now we can edit this together here. Just make it nice, pointy looking chin. So if we grab the tab out of edit mode and grab the value slider, see how the chin becomes pointy there. Okay, and now let's go ahead and just create a bone specifically for that. So we'll actually grab the skeleton, and tab into edit mode, and let's just duplicate the chin bone here. Shift D, and let's call that pointy chin. Okay, there we go, and it's got the same bone shape as the chin, and I guess that'll be fine. We're gonna end up deleting it later on anyways, so that's fine for now. And the way we control the bone shapes, or the shape keys with these bones, is we go over here to our shape keys, and right here on our shape key that we created, we just right click and say add driver. And now we go ahead and split our window here and bring up our graph editor over here, and we want to open our drivers right there. So click on drivers, and we'll scroll all the way down over here. You can see all of those drivers that are set up with the face, and we find pointy chin right there. So let's expand this a little bit bigger, and then hit the little plus sign there to bring up our properties. And the way we set up a driver here is we have a driver turned on, but we need to set it up so it works the way we want. What we do is we go down here where it says scripted express, grab that, turn it to averaged value, and it's going to give us an error. It says invalid target channel, but that's no big deal. It just means that we haven't set up the rest of the target yet, so it's invalid right now. So right now we're going to go to this variable that it already has set up, and instead of transform channel, actually transform channel is exactly what we want. Right now we need to click on the object bone, and we need to say Baker rig. There we go, to start typing Baker, and it'll pop up the alphabetical order and you know, sort of narrow the list down by what you've typed. So anyways, and now we will say, what was it, pointy chin. There we go. Select that, and we're going to say on the Y location, local space, I believe that would be right. Let me just go grab that bone. I'm going to turn on axes, and we can zoom in here, and actually it looks like it will be the Z location, so let's change that to the Z location. Okay, now let's hit T to get rid of our toolbox and N to get rid of our properties there. Let's go ahead and turn off axes again. And now if we move this bone, nothing's happening. And that's because we still have our error up here. Now if we change some of this, if we just say up to some value and change it back to averaged, now it should work. So if we zoom in here, you can see this, when you change it to something else and then change it back, it kind of resets it and kind of clears out the buffer or whatever. So if you're having problems with that not working, just change the type back and forth and then you can get it to work. So see, this bone is now controlling the pointiness of the chin. So it's a pretty neat little trick for kind of getting your facial expressions a little more accurate. As far as, you know, you can use a rig and get a lot more variation with your expressions, or you can do this way and sort of get your expressions to be a little more accurate, because you might accidentally pull your bones too far or something like that when you're using just a normal rig. So this helps out with the, like I said, with the correctness of your expressions. So anyway, so that's how the whole face is set up. Now, one other trick let me show you real quick is, you might notice in this list here there's a cheek puff L and a cheek puff R. Well, that's on the left side and the right side, obviously. To get those to separate, basically what I did, let's grab the pointy chin. You know what, let's go ahead and delete that driver for now, and let's tab into edit mode there. And it's kind of difficult to see right now because the chin is you know, right in the middle of our model. So let's go ahead and grab some of these, maybe the jawbone over here, the jaw area, and let's move that as well. And you can see that I have, if we tab and if you hit T and turn on our toolbox there and scroll down over here, you can see the mirror editing is turned on. So anything I do on the right side or on the left side is therefore mirrored on the right side. So let's get that just lined up so he's got a nice jawbone going on here. Maybe not nice, but where you can actually see it at least. Anyways, so there we go. Now say I want two different bones here. Let's go ahead and do that as a matter of fact. Let's tab into edit mode and copy this bone. Let's just drag it over here and hit Shift D and drag another one over here. And then we'll hit N to bring up our properties and go ahead and rename this one to .R for the right side, and grab this one and say .L. So now we have our pointy chin left and our pointy chin right. Now, on this pointy chin shape key, right now it's controlling both sides. Now the way we split it up is, first off, what we're going to need to do is copy this shape key. So let's run it all the way up to 1.0 and hit the plus sign, and it's going to create a key 27. So let's go ahead and name this pointy chin.R. And then we'll go back to that first one and name this one .L. Oops, .L, not greater than L. There we go. Okay, and let's go ahead and run that all the way back down to 0. And since this one is set to 1.0 when we created the new key, the key that we created therefore has its 100% is set to the other. So this is therefore a duplicate of this one. Now, the way we split this up is, let me tab into edit mode here with our model, and let's go to weight paint mode. And then over here in our vertex groups, you can see that there's a half.L and a half.R. And that's just basically half of the right half of the model vertices selected and added to this half.R with a kind of a nice smooth transition there at the middle and then the left side, so on and so forth. So we have all of the vertices on the left side and all of the vertices on the right side to split the model up into two sides. So if we tab back into, or actually tab out of, okay, go back to object mode. There we go. And right here we got our left and right halves there in the vertex groups, and we have our left and right shape keys here that we need to split up. We're going to use these vertex groups right here. So on our left one, right here where you see the little dots, circle of squares there, that means it's vertex groups, so they match the little icons right there. If we click in there and we say half.l, now this the shape key will only affect that left side for those left vertices. And the same thing over here, half.r, or excuse me, half.r, not forearm r. There we go. I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, and then we just set the drivers up the same as we did before. Let's go ahead and say, actually right click on the numbers, insert, or add driver. And then, you know what we can do? We don't have to add a driver and set it up twice. What we can do is, I'll get my property set up. Okay, we got to select it over here first. Grab that pointy chin.l, and let's go ahead and set it up. Transform channel is already correct. And change this to average value Baker rig. There we go. And this is going to be pointy chin, setting up the left one, so pointy chin.l. And it's going to be Z location. Everything else is already fine. Go ahead and swap these so it's there. So we'll grab this left one, move it. Okay, it's not wanting to. Oh, we've got to set local space. There we go. There we got it. Okay, so this is controlling the left side, and we could go ahead and set the right one up the exact same way. But there's a quick little trick we can do. So just grab our model here, and right here, instead of adding a driver, we're going to say copy driver this time, and then come down here on the other one and say paste driver. So now we'll come over here, and you can see that it adds the pointy chin.r there. And we can, all we got to do now is just change the driver to .r right there. Go ahead and hit enter. On your numpad, by the way, if you hit enter on your normal keyboard, it won't take. So you just got to say you got to hit enter on the numpad. So anyways, let's go ahead and make this window a little bit bigger here. Go ahead and T and N to get rid of those menus. And now this guy will control the right side. This guy controls the left side. So that's what I did across the whole face after I created each expression piece. Like I created the smile of the mouth, left and right. The upper lip and the bottom lip didn't need left and right because they were in the center. But then the eyebrows, left and right, and the little squint areas, so on and so forth. So anyways, that's a quick, easy way to get your more accurate expressions when you're creating that. So I think that pretty much covers all of the rig. So in our next lesson, we will start messing with some animation basics. So I will see you then.